All right, let's get started. I'm excited to welcome you to this video. It's a repurposed video from a webinar about Employee Center, and we'll be going to do a foundational overview of what Employee Center is and the difference between standard and pro. My name is Jason Valanzano. I'm a senior solution architect with the CTO and the Forest Service. So I'm obligated to bring up the safe harbor notice. We may have some forward-looking statements throughout this video, and the roadmap is to be taken with caution, as we all know. This video is really part of a live series. You can scan that QR code and see a lot of other webinars that are offered across different products, including Employee Center. They have office hours, 360 exchanges, academy sessions. It's all under the Live on ServiceNow umbrella, so it's really a nice resource to stay up to speed. Employee Center, as well as any other products that you're deploying or we're considering deploying. Agenda. All right, so let's talk about what you're going to see today. We're going to start with a brief introduction of Employee Center, and we'll talk about what the problems are that we're trying to solve and how Employee Center from ServiceNow can solve that. And we'll also talk about basic licensing questions around what Employee Center is and standard versus pro. Then we'll dive deep into a live demo, the out-of-the-box experience for the Employee Center Standard and Employee Center Professional. This will be a high-level demo, so don't expect a deep dive into everything for each and every capability, but it will be good to get you a sense of what you can get out of the box. Then we'll deep dive into some implementation guidance, which I think is very valuable to get started with Employee Center. And it will be important to keep this guidance as we embark on this deployment journey. Lastly, we'll close with some resources. There's a ton of resources to support us, as well as enabling us through the journey with deploying Employee Center. All right. So let's get started with introduction to Employee Center. So many of you are probably experiencing the problem that we've seen many organizations experience out there, including our own. There's many different portals and many different silos of where this data is hiding. And the truth is that employees, honestly, they typically don't know where they need to go and get the data. And it ends up being more than 2 or 3 places before they finally reach the right place, if they're lucky. You know, essentially, organizations have ended up creating these unintended swivel chairing experiences. And it leads to a great loss in productivity and frustration for the employees because they don't know where to go when they need some help. So this is the core problem that ServiceNow's Employee Center is designed to solve. In a sense, Employee Center is an actionable and digital front end for all employee needs. So, you know, we need access to enterprise services. We need to get information. We have tasks to take care of and multiple communication channels. You know, the value of this platform, Employee Center, is, you know, it really enables the self-service aspect of your job. It engages employees as well, which is a real key part of this platform. So what's so special about Employee Center? So this over here on this slide, to summarize all the cool things that you may want to think about as you're trying to understand Employee Center, starting from the bottom left, first and foremost, Employee Center is designed to be employee-centric. ServiceNow has taken a different approach when they shipped Employee Center. As part of their product, they did not build a Lego piece portal. It comes pre-configured with the taxonomy that we'll walk through that provides unified access to catalog items, which is something that, you know, an employee can request, or articles, which is helping them understand and self-serve. It's providing a unified access to different kinds of content, communications, and so on. So it's really designed from the lens of the employee. Secondly, it's designed to be omnichannel, first and foremost. The whole design, it's responsive. You open your browser or you use your mobile phone, so it's like you're doing a mobile web application, and we have native mobile experiences that integrate with platforms like Microsoft Teams, which is where many organizations, including ours, have been spending most of their time on personalization. It's one of the biggest aspects of employee centricity, and it makes the content that is available for the employee front and center for that employee to use, and it provides recommendations. It's also personalizes the ability to favorite things and be able to get things faster depending on your own preferences. The second aspect of Employee Center is that it's designed to be easy to deploy and maintain. If you would see many of the portals that are in the industry today, and even what were offered with ServiceNow, quite frankly, before Employee Center, it was a Lego piece system. This one, however, is pre-configured and pre-designed. Employee Center comes this way, and through the demo, you'll see it's fully built out of the box. And many organizations who have deployed Employee Center, from our experience, have said the out-of-the-box experience is fantastic. And whatever their organization needs are, it's designed to be dynamic. And a lot of experiences that you see today are actually automatically created. So no longer do we have to create topic pages, maintain them, and update them, because all of that is automatically done for us by Employee Center. So there's popularity, and there's calculated autonomy, as well as the ability to maintain the portal and make sure that it stays relevant for users. Employee Center is also built on the Service Portal platform, which makes it super configurable. So everything that we have available currently as part of Service Portal deployments are actually applicable, on Employee Center, as well as there are 200 widgets that have been built on the Service Portal platform, which can leverage Employee Center as well. The third aspect of Employee Center is that when we're building any capability in Employee Center, we're building it with the length of making sure it is extensible. So a lot of the capabilities that we'll talk about are built in extensively and actually expand to other departments, to other tables, another widget. So you can create experiences of your choice and activate them based upon more relevancy and personalization. Integration with platforms like SharePoint Online. There are many SCM providers, including Workday, Concur, all these pre-built integrations helps us to create a unified front. So, in summary, it's designed for our organization to provide best-in-class experience for our employees. The journey that we want to take is what's highlighted on this slide. Most organizations, including our own, are on the left-hand side. They have siloed portals, and it's a swivel chair experience that I was talking about in the beginning. They have different portals for different departments, maybe a separate intranet, a lot of applications that people have to go through to complete their tasks. Approvals is one of the best use cases of that. So we want to move away from that siloed portal to potentially an enterprise portal first, which at least consolidates access to services through one single front end. And as we start getting comfortable with that front end, we start realizing the value through it. We've even seen other organizations, at least from what ServiceNow says, quickly move towards creating an employee destination site and bringing in communications departments with them and creating a modern intranet, which becomes the front end for all the different things that an employee would need. It's actionable, it's modern, and it's employee-centric. So let's talk about the packages. As I mentioned earlier, there are two packages for Employee Center, and I'm going to touch on both of them here. So Employee Center Standard and Employee Center Pro are the two options. Employee Center Standard is available across all departments out of the box with the service. So IT, HR, legal, procurement, workplaces, etc. It covers the entire spectrum. And it's designed this way to be multi department. So you can get a unified service delivery platform directly within Employee Center Standard. Now, EC Pro is an extension to that. It is not a separate portal. So it's the same portal with just different packages. What Employee Center Pro provides is the ability to expand from just being a simple multi-department service delivery portal to being a more modern and proactive platform. And that proactivity part comes from the communications feature, which are targeted and actionable throughout the experience. So let's say you're having some new application being rolled out or a new SOP version change that's happening either at the leadership level, or you may have some mandatory training at the workplace level. The actionable communications makes it very easy for the employee to know what they need to do and to take action directly from that communications. So EC Pro really elevates the experience with add-ons like microsites, which makes the content more engaging and provides an out-of-the-box front end for quick deployments. And then you have enterprise search, and that provides a front-end destination to be able to search for content that may be living not just within the ServiceNow instance, but also outside. So enterprise search allows you to, from within the same interface and front end, you can search within Salesforce, Box, SharePoint, etc. So that's the enterprise search piece. Being able to launch all the applications directly from this portal without having to go through single sign-on, SSO, logins, MFA, all that stuff, that's App Launcher. Being able to complete approvals that are sitting outside ServiceNow, again, like Workday or Concord, whatever your system of record is, you can do that directly from the portal itself. That's the Approvals Hub. And then being able to collect feedback on the experience that users are experiencing and how their journey was, how much value was added, how much satisfaction they had. All those things can be measured and captured in the feedback extension of Employee Center Pro. So here's a reference chart describing the functionality comparison between EC Standard and EC Pro. It's not a full list, but it's very valuable, and the slides will be available if you want to come back here and need to compare the feature parity between Enterprise Center Standard and Enterprise Center Pro. All right. Now, that was a very brief context of what is Employee Center, why it's good for us, what value it provides, and what customer journeys like that we typically see with organizations. Now, I'm going to step back from the slides and take you through the actual out-of-the-box experience for Employee Center. So give me a second while I just bring up my screen. All right, so you should now see on my screen an experience which says Technology Services, ServiceNow on top. What I'm showcasing right now is the out-of-the-box Employee Center Standard experience. I'm going to scroll through just to show you the whole experience that it comes with. The search is front and center, as you can see, and we have AI search enabled, and AI search is available for both EC Standard and EC Pro. I'll walk you through that search experience, but what I'm going to focus on right now as I walk through this is the browsing experience first. So this is Employee Center Standard. And right now, I only have IT enabled. When I walk you through EC Pro, I'll show you the other taxonomies. But essentially, you would see under this main topic, primary topic, we would have child topics. And you can kind of browse through them. And these topics, let's get into one. For example, let's go into software. Yeah, here we go. So when you get into one of these topics, it's actually going to be a separate page, and this is what we call a topics page. Now, what's interesting over here is that you would see articles, requests, all of them populated directly here. So this is like the one-stop shop for knowledge articles, as well as catalogs associated with software. Now, the good thing about this is this need not be a direct map to the categories that you have within the catalog or knowledge base. As an owner of this topic, you can kind of curate all the different content that you want and put this in the topics. Now that content could come from a single category within the service catalog or multiple different categories. It can come from the catalog associated with just IT, or it can come from multiple different departments. Essentially, if you think about this topics page as an aisle in your favorite grocery store and you're the shopper, say you're looking for something that you want to make for dinner tonight. Let's say you're in the mood for Italian. So what do? You scan the aisle names for pasta to start with. This is the concept of a topics page. Now what you do is obviously you navigate that aisle and you select your favorite ingredients. Everything should be available in that aisle. It doesn't matter how the grocery store sourced the items. What matters is that the ingredients are there. Everything that I need associated with that pasta dish is available in that aisle. So these taxonomy pages are designed in such a way to be very employee-centric. Again, as an employee, anything that I associate with, in this case, software or pasta, should be available here. So it's a very customer-centric environment, and it's intended to walk the user through the aisle to find their ingredients. These are the topic pages that provides that flexibility. And what's happening in the back end, which I'm not going to showcase right now, is the concept of a topic owner. And a topic owner is like the store manager who's responsible for stocking the shelves, or in this case, tagging content in the back end, after which the page will automatically be updated. And should the tagging in the back end change, like there's a new pasta sauce that just came in, it just arrived, then once the clerk stocks the aisle, it's tagged, then the content on this page will automatically update. So you don't have to maintain topic pages because this is dynamically updated. Now, the other thing is I showcased the topic pages highlighting catalog and knowledge. There's this concept of quick links. And that's available on Employee Center, so you can have quick links front and center on the homepage. But at the same time, you could also have these quick links associated at the taxonomy level. So I believe I have quick links added at the hardware. Okay, I don't have it here, but I'll showcase that once we have quick links added at the topic level. You'll automatically see quick links created or showcased on the right side of the page. And the good thing is this page is designed to be responsive. If you don't have quick links, the support resources will take the whole page. And again, it's not creating any jarring experience in the terms of design. So let's go further down and see what's visible on the home page for Employee Center Standard. So I mentioned about quick links. This is now, these could be external links. This could be catalog item. This could be knowledge articles. It could be a page like the system status. So system status is a commonly used use case, especially for IT-oriented portals. You want to make it easily accessible for your users, and you can put it as a quick link. You can even put it on the top of the mega menu over here. Popular topics. This is highlighting what topics peers across the organization are referencing. The popularity is actually calculated based on the content popularity. So if there's more views on a knowledge article that is accounting for popularity, the more the catalog items are submitted, then it's accounting for that popularity of that catalog item. And then the popularity is calculated at a topic level, and that is what is highlighted, what is being showcased over here. As an admin, you can use instance options on this and then define how many of these popular topics you want to show, and then you can modify the experience on this page. Recommended for you widget. Now this is if you have any of these pro licenses like the ITSM Pro or HRSD Pro. This widget highlights content, so these are not topics. This is literally content, articles, or catalogs, and the admins are able to define if you want to render both or you just want to render one of them. You can highlight similar content, meaning people who are in similar roles across the organization. And by the way, similarity is defined based on the user profile. You can showcase content that all other regions have related to your product. Now, across this page, you're seeing these heart icons, like this one over here. This is the favorite capability. So as a user, I can favorite things. I can favorite it in the moment when I'm looking at recommended topics. Or let's say when I'm on a topic page, let's say I'm on software and I favorite something over here, and all of these are available to me under my favorites. They're also available to me as my favorites widget over here. So that is getting to the user-driven personalization aspect. Now, one of the newer capabilities that was shipped was Employee Center. Within Employee Center is this Get Support option. The Get Support option on the mega menu, just to clarify, that's this purple bar. It's a second level menu that's called the mega menu, and they provide a lot of different advanced configurations to make it a blend of topic pages and service portal pages to support a hierarchy or information. So if I click on Get Support, now you get essentially a modal window that pops up. And when you click on it, it's available across all pages because it's part of the mega menu, and it provides easy access to, let's say, commonly requested things like password reset. It could have text-based content like contact details, for example. If you want to provide a service number or location-based information. So it's really quick and easy way to get support directly on the portal. Now, everything that I've spoken about from a home page perspective is available on Employee Center Pro as well, but you'll see more extensions or more features and capabilities available as part of the Pro package. I'll get there in just a few minutes, but now let me talk about this widget over here, which is my active items. My active items, what's cool about this widget is it's very configurable widget, and you can bring in any kind of table that you want to highlight. So for example, if you want to bring up system issues that you may want to showcase over here, you can add that and configure it and just show that. We have right now over here tasks, requests, surveys that are currently showcased here, but you can have essentially anything. The task is one of the coolest widgets. It actually opens into a separate page, and I'll showcase that further when I get into Employee Center Pro. It's the same thing for Employee Center Standard as well, but it's an interesting feature we'll explore later. All right. The other thing that I want to highlight for Employee Center Standard is this profile page. We'll again walk through this when we get into Employee Center Pro. So now I'll jump into, in the interest of time, let me showcase Employee Center Pro. But there are many other things that I want to call out on Employee Center Standard as well. And you'll see me call this out as I walk through Employee Center Pro. But before I hop in, here's what you get out of the box: a fully built out experience for Employee Center Standard. All right, let's jump into Employee Center Pro. Now, this is the same portal. Like if you would see the extensions, this is also ESC, so it's /ESC. And you can see it's a lot more richer in terms of experience. It has a lot more communications, a lot more widgets, and is more engaging than just simple Employee Center Standard portal. So let's talk about some of these elements and We already saw in this demo the taxonomy, and I would mention that Mega Menu can be a lot more configurable, and there's a lot more options to build the information architecture of your choice. So if you would click on Help Center over here, we have a 4-level information architecture. So one is on the top, which is visible. Then there's one over here, and that leads to another level over here. This is something that you can achieve on Employee Center Standard as well. So again, if you get into any of these topics over here, you essentially get into a landing page, which is the topic page that is available on both Employee Center and Employee Center Pro. You can see the experience over here that we have additional widgets that can be placed on the right-hand side. Now, one thing that I didn't mention when I was talking about Employee Center Standard was that this template that we have here is created with topic pages. It's something that you can change. So the template that's shipped with the service out of the box applies to all the topic pages. But let's say that you want to update that template, so you do have that option to say, like, all my hardware related topics under technology services should have one additional widget that has a custom widget that you want to place, let's say, around my assets. So that is a possibility that you can certainly do. So this is the Employee Center Pro experience. As you can see, there is search built out on the topic page. This again is AI search. I have AI search activated on this instance, so I'm showcasing it over here, but you can essentially, once you have AI search activated on Employee Center Standard, you will see it over here as well. Once I have search, let's say as a user, I didn't find what I'm looking for on the topic page, I can expand my search. And I can expand my search, and let's say the overarching search that we want to see is this global search that we have on the portal. This is AI search. You can see that I can filter across all the search results and filter it based on topic pages, that I may want to filter down the content for, you can also filter based on content type. Now, when it comes to Employee Center versus Employee Center Pro, some of the things that you would see on this search experience is people search, which is being able to search for your peers. It's actually available on Employee Center Pro only. Requests and articles is available on both. News is the capability that is available with Employee Center Pro. It's part of the communications capability that's also searchable. And pages are microsites, which I will talk about next. So you can see some of the topics that have been created, and that's how you search for pages. So I mentioned microsites. Let's talk about what is a microsite. With Employee Center Pro, microsites give you the ability to make your topic pages a lot more engaging and build content that actually provides a very rich experience and engages your audience right away. So this is the software topic page that we've been walking through. As you can see, we have that support resources at the bottom. We have quick links. We have related news and applications. But there is a section over here which we call Rich Content Widget. And it has a lot more additional things that can be easily configured by a drag and drop experience, which we have separately built out for Employee Center Pro. And it can provide a lot of rich information. For example, we have a tabbed structure talking about news, talking about support services. And this, again, is bringing out some of the common requests that you may want to highlight in a very different way as part of the same topic page. So that's a microsite. All right, so I briefly walked you through the topic pages on Employee Center Pro, but let's spend a little more time on the home page. So we have the search bar a little under the communications widget. We still have the quick links We have the company news, my active items, and you see the actions associated with approve and reject directly on the homepage. This is again available for both Employee Center and Employee Center Pro. Now with Employee Center Pro, we have communications, and company news is one of the core ones. So you can see that there's a whole section which talks about different kinds of news. I have company news over here. I have AI news, which is both Employee Center Pro capabilities. We have popular topics, more options to highlight the communications recommended for you. And then there is the My Applications app launcher. So as a user, I can see all the different applications that are available to me. I can favorite them. And once I favorite them, I can actually access it directly from here. And once I visited a few, like I just visited Concord because in this example I was traveling, so it's available in my recent applications. So as you can see, the homepage experience for Employee Center Pro is a lot more richer. Now, before I get into communications, let me talk about some of the other things which I wanted to highlight that are also available for Employee Center Standard. I mentioned when I was on the Employee Center Standard that there is an employee profile. So let's look into what that is now. This is a functionality where they've made it possible to access pure information with ease and personalize how your own information is visible to all other employees in your organization. So as a user, I can update my profile picture. I can choose a background that I want to pick. So, I can add a bio, I can pick a nickname, and so on. And what you're seeing over here is available with Employee Center Standard. The difference is some of the tabs over here, like career and benefits and rewards, are associated with other licenses that you have, especially on the HR side. Now, this is also designed to be such that you can add a lot more widgets and information. For example, you may want to add employee details coming in from your SCM. This is the place where you would do so. With our Employee Center Pro, we also can break out indirect or dotted line reports and direct reports highlighted over here. So a very rich profile experience with Employee Center Pro. Along with the profile, you also get the org chart. So I'm just gonna do very briefly a showcase of the org chart. Maybe I can search. Let's see here. Maybe I could search on Able. So here you can see the profile and associated actions. You can send an email, or if you have Microsoft Teams integrated, you can send a Teams chat right here directly. So that's convenient. All right. So that gives you a basic preview of the profile functionality and the org chart. I did mention that the tasking is very well built out in the Employee Center. So let's go through the tasking experience. So this is my task. As you can see, we have all the tasks that are associated with me show up over here. I can even see which of these are completed, and what's good about this is that what you see over here is very configurable and can be different depending on different task types. So as an admin, you can actually choose what information is visible on the top end, what's visible in the middle, and what's included as attachments, requested items, and additional things, additional details regarding the task and what you'd want to provide to the end user. And this helps them to actually take the action and have the right information available to them so they can approve or reject without having to actually go inside and see the back-end view of the request. So all organizations that have deployed Employee Center have really benefited from this. This, again, is available with Employee Center Standard. What's special about this with Employee Center Pro is that you can extend the same look and feel for external tasks. So So as long as you could have Concur tasks visible. So I can, for example, impersonate Maria Davis. She has a Concur task and Workday task visibly right here in front of her. Let me see if I just have the right one. Okay. I don't have the right one here. Essentially, they can see the whole set of information that they would need directly if it is Concur approval. Let's say it's a travel receipt that they want to be approved by a manager. You can see all the line item details directly over here and approve or reject them or add comments and send it back without having to log into Concur directly. All right, now let's talk about communications. So what you see on the top here is what we call Content Experiences widget. It's something that is available with Employee Center Pro, and it's the main thing that makes the whole experience a lot more proactive and engaging. So as you can see, you can actually have the communications for each of these communications can be targeted at an individual audience level. So it's not just user criteria. You can, in fact, just build very granular audiences. You could even say, I just want these 4 employees or these 5 employees to see this communication on their portal. You can get to that level of granularity. This widget supports videos, it supports banners, it supports actionable content. So it's a great way to get employees to pay attention to what you want them to look at. And with the whole action right there, it also helps to proactively take this action. Now, this widget is placed out of the box on the homepage, and it's also placed out of the box on the topics pages. So if you do have content associated with it, it'll show up right over here. And if you don't have content, it is actually replaced by a banner that you'd have to set for the topic pages. All right, what else do I want to showcase? So I spoke about employee news. We actually have a whole immersive experience for news. It's called the News Center. And here you can see news articles that have been highlighted directly in front of you. And you can even see categories associated with it. You can have the user pick how they want to consume news. You can even, build out this page experience more by having video widgets highlighted over here. And the coolest thing about this is that each of these are actually not knowledge articles. It's a separate type of content that we call news article, which is available in communications. And it's a drag and drop experience. So to create this is pretty easy. The videos and whatever you're creating, it's actually drag and drop, and it's a lot more flexible. We call that the rich content editor. And that's the same editor that you would use for building microsites for the rich content experience that I highlighted when I was showcasing the software topics page. So before we get into some of the additional capabilities, I wanted to summarize Employee Center functionality and comparison matrix. We spoke about this taxonomy model and how it brings together catalog and knowledge articles. We spoke about AI search. We spoke about the tasking experience on Employee Center. We also spoke about the recommendations and about how there are favorites, an employee profile. All of these functionality are available within Employee Center Standard. Then, from the pro perspective, we talked briefly about communications and spoke about microsites. I didn't mention much about enterprise search, but essentially on that same AI search experience, you can have content that is sitting on external systems like SharePoint, for example. We spoke about App Launcher, Approvals Hub, a little bit about Manager Hub. One of the other things that I didn't talk about is feedback. So with feedback, you can essentially have in-page widgets that capture employee feedback. And those widgets are configurable in terms of what type of questions you want to be asked, whether you want a 3-point survey or a 2-point survey, all those great things. So now we'll go ahead and look at some additional capabilities. All right. So one of the main things that people ask about and should think about when they're deploying Employee Center is that from an employee perspective, the portal is just one of the things they could use to get help. There's a whole ecosystem of different ways this can be done. ServiceNow designed Employee Center to be omnichannel, and one of the things they built is very deep integrations with Microsoft 365. A lot of organizations, including our own, work with and are investing heavily in Microsoft 365. And we want to make sure that employees who are spending time in Outlook or Teams easily have access to Employee Center. EC is fully embedded in both Teams, Outlook, and Office, so people can easily access it in the flow of their work. ServiceNow also has actionable notifications in Outlook, so you can take action directly as part of your emails. Along with this, they also have a fully native mobile experience, which is tied together with the experience that is built on Employee Center. The same homepage experience with quick links, communications, recommended content, all that's available on the mobile platform as well. The Now mobile app provides access to that experience. A lot of organizations deploying the portal experience are thinking about this whole ecosystem, a unified journey, and then deciding how exactly they want to create the desired experience for each employee within their organization. Now, in the remaining few minutes, I want to talk about some implementation guidance. First, let's discuss pitfalls you definitely want to avoid. Employee Center comes pre-configured with a lot of content, different experiences, and use cases that are pre-built. They also have a very robust roadmap, and ServiceNow ships new capabilities every quarter. They recommend stick to out of the box as much as you can. Avoid customizations that lead to technical debt and erode value in the future. The best way to do that is to stay tuned with the Employee Center roadmap. The second common pitfall is underinvesting in building the unified taxonomy. Without this, the whole experience you're trying to create with Employee Center will quickly fall short. ServiceNow recommends you invest a ton in building an employee-centric unified taxonomy at the onset to achieve the fastest value for your deployment investment. The good news is that they have an out-of-the-box taxonomy that is a great starting point, so you don't have to start from scratch. In building out that taxonomy, it's recommended that you use that out-of-box approach, then modify it based on your current needs and conduct a tree test with a few power users to ensure that that taxonomy is truly employee-centric. Make sure users know where to go to serve the most common use cases. That tree test is very valuable in making sure the taxonomy is employee-centric. The third common pitfall is that people are often trying to build a big bang rollout. Instead, what most organizations that are successful with this do is take a multi-stage deployment approach. Many organizations even start with only 1 or 2 departments, and once they have achieved success with that, all the other departments automatically come running saying, hey, we want to be a part of this journey too. So it's not necessary that you start from the very end of the maturity curve. Start small, start slow, and then add additional departments and features as you mature. Let's dive into the key decisions you need to make when implementing Employee Center. The first and most crucial step is building alignment on your vision. Whether you're starting with a single department, multiple departments, or going enterprise-wide, it's essential to create and build alignment around the enterprise-wide vision for employee experience. Look at this slide. Employee Center is the digital front end for all employee needs. That's powerful, isn't it? It encapsulates the idea of a unified experience addressing the who, what, where, when, and how of employee needs. Now, when we talk about business value, we're looking at 3 main factors: increasing self-service, driving employee engagement, and improving employee productivity. These align perfectly with the 3 values I've mentioned earlier. The key here is to socialize this vision across your organization. Even if some departments aren't jumping onto the Employee Center bandwagon right away, it's crucial to get them on board with the overall vision. You want to create that alignment and shared understanding of where you're headed. This vision isn't just about implementing a new tool, it's about transforming the entire employee experience. So, take the time to craft a vision that resonates with your organization's goals and culture. This is a foundational step, and it will set the stage for all the decisions that follow. Now that we've talked about vision, let's dive into defining your MVP, or minimum viable product. This is where you'll need to make some key decisions based on your organization's readiness and maturity. We've got a great example here of what we call a crawl, walk, run approach. This isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, but it's a common path we've seen many organizations take successfully. In the crawl phase, you might start with multiple department services, focusing on key areas like IT and finance. This gets your feet wet and starts bringing value to the core of business functions. As you move into the walk phase, you're looking at a more modern enterprise service portal. This is where you start integrating more systems and incorporating employee communications to drive that proactive action. It's a big step up in terms of functionality and user experience. But finally, when you start running, you're talking about a full-blown modern intranet. This becomes the employee destination for all needs, truly unifying the employee experience across the organization. Your MVP doesn't have to start at the end of this journey. You can begin small, perhaps with just 1 or 2 departments, and gradually expand. That's the key here. This is how you define an approach that fits your organization's current capabilities and goals. So take time to consider, where are you on this journey? What's a realistic starting point for your organization? What does your path to a fully realized employee center look like? What's the definition of done here? These are crucial decisions that will shape your implementation strategy. Now, let's talk about a crucial aspect of your employee center implementation. That's the human-centered design. This is a very modern way for developing employee experiences. It's all about engaging with your users to identify the right problems to solve and to solve them in the right way. So look at this diagram. It illustrates a powerful process for ensuring your employee center truly meets the needs of your workforce. We start on the left with understand. This is where you really dig in and listen to people. What are their pain points? What are their daily challenges? It's about asking the right questions and, more importantly, listening intently to their answers. Next, we move to define. This is where you take all that input and start to shape it into concrete problems to solve. It's about synthesizing what you've learned and identifying the key areas where you can make a real difference. Then we have the co-create. This is where it gets exciting. You're not just designing for your users, you're designing with them. You're prototyping, you're ideating, you're making stuff together. This collaborative approach ensures what you're building truly resonates with your workforce. Finally, we have validate. This is where you test your solutions, gather feedback, and refine. It's an iterative process. You might loop back to earlier stages based on what you learn here. Notice how the diagram is split into 2 main parts. Solve the right problem and solve the problem the right way. This distinction is crucial. It's not enough to just build a solution. You need to make sure you're addressing the real issues your employees face and doing it in a way that truly works for them. Remember, the Employee Center isn't just another IT project. It's about creating an experience that makes your employees' work lives easier and more productive. By following this human-centered design approach, you're more likely to create something that your workforce will actually embrace and use. So as you plan for your implementation, think about how you can incorporate these principles. How will you engage with your users throughout the process? How will you ensure you're solving the right problems the right way? These are the key decisions that will significantly impact the success of your employee center. All right, let's talk about organizational change management, or OCM. This is absolutely crucial for driving accelerated adoption across your organization. This slide breaks down the OCM into 2 key layers: the measurement layer and the activation layer. At the top, we've got the measurement layer. This is all about tracking adoption, things like usage, value, satisfaction. It's essential to have these metrics in place to gauge the success of your implementation. Below that, there's the activation layer. That's where the rubber meets the road. You'll see we've divided this into organic and inorganic adoption strategies. In the middle, there's a list of activities required to facilitate adoption. These include leadership alignment, ecosystem alignment, digital alignment, etc. You'll also need to consider training, feedbacks, post-launch campaigns, and onboardings. Now, here's a key takeaway. Remember, you're not just implementing a new system, you're actually changing how people work. That's why it's crucial to have a solid OCM strategy in place. It'll help you navigate the challenges of change and ensure your Employee Center implementation delivers the value you're aiming for. So, as you plan your implementation, make sure you're giving OCM the attention it deserves. It could make the difference between a successful rollout and one that struggles to gain traction. All right, let's move on to our final key decision, building your governance model. This is crucial for long-term success and sustainability of your Employee Center. Check out this slide. The main message here is clear. Build a central team that owns the portal, but federate content ownership across departments and stakeholders. Let me repeat that. Build a central team that owns the portal, but federate content ownership across departments and stakeholders. This approach gives you the best of both worlds, centralized control and distributed responsibility. So the heart of this model within the ServiceNow platform is that team, that central team. These are your core experts who will prioritize and estimate all the demands, develop, test, and validate all configurations, maintain standards, plan for upgrade cycles. At the bottom of the slide, we got various stakeholders like IT leaders, HR leaders, line of business leaders, and so on. Each of these groups has their own needs and wants from the Employee Center. The governance model allows them to have a voice while maintaining overall consistency. This federated approach is powerful because it allows different departments to own their content and process within the Employee Center. IT can manage their services, HR can handle employee-related content, and various lines of business can contribute their specific needs. The key here is balance. You want central control to maintain standards and ensure cohesive user experience, but you also need the flexibility to let different parts of your organization contribute and manage their area of expertise. Remember this, governance isn't just about control. It's about enabling your organization to get the most value out of the Employee Center while ensuring it remains manageable and aligned with your overall vision. So as you plan the implementation, think carefully about how you'll structure your governance. It's a crucial decision that will impact how Employee Center grows and evolves over time. Now, let's talk about something that's crucial also for long-term success of your Employee Center, taking a data-driven approach and continuous improvement. We've got 3 powerful analytics tools, and ServiceNow provides help for you to understand and optimize the Employee Center. On the left, User Experience Analytics. This gives you a deep dive into how your employees are interacting with the portal. You can see metrics like total visits, engagement rates, and average time spent. This is gold when it comes to understanding the behavior, identifying areas for future improvement. In the middle, we've got Content Analytics. This tool helps understand which content resonates with your employees and which might need some work. You can track things like page views, popular search items, content ratings. This is all crucial for ensuring Employee Center remains relevant and valuable to the workforce. On the right, we have the ITSM HRSD Success Dashboard. This gives you a broader view of how your IT service management and HR service delivery are performing. You can track key metrics like ticket resolution times, service level agreements, and overall satisfaction scores. The beauty of these tools is that they give you real actionable data. You're not just guessing at what's working and what's not. You have concrete numbers to guide your decision making. By regularly reviewing these analytics, you can spot trends, identify pain points, and make data-driven decisions about how to improve your Employee Center. Maybe you notice that certain pages have high bounce rates. That could be a sign that the content needs to be revised. Or perhaps you see a certain service that's consistently missing its SLAs. That might indicate a need for a process improvement. Just remember this. Launching your Employee Center is just the beginning. To truly deliver value, you need to continuously refine and improve based on real user data and feedback. These analytics tools that ServiceNow provides are the compass in that journey. So as you plan the strategy, make sure you're factoring in how you'll use these analytics tools. Set up regular review sessions with the team. Dig into the data and identify opportunities for improvement. A data-driven approach will help ensure that the Employee Center continues to meet evolving needs for the workforce. All right, as we wrap up, I want to make sure you're aware of all the resources available to you. ServiceNow has packed a lot of information into their resource centers, and there's a lot to explore. First and foremost, I highly recommend you check out the Employee Center Product Hub. That's on the ServiceNow community, and you can access it at the link there or scan that QR code. This is a gold mine of information. We're talking about product demos, FAQs, Figma files for your designers, detailed trainings, release information, and a comprehensive implementation guide. It's all there. All of these have their own QR codes and links on the screen. I strongly encourage you follow up and check these out. Remember, implementing Employee Center is a journey, and ServiceNow has tons of support to help us with that journey. All right, that brings us to the end of this session. Let's quickly review what I covered. We started with an introduction to Employee Center, which gave you a foundational knowledge of what it's all about. Then I dove into a live walkthrough showing you the platform in action. I spent a good chunk of time on implementation guidance, covering key decisions you'll need to make and pitfalls to avoid. And finally, we explored the wealth of support and enablement resources that are available. I want to thank you for your time and attention. Implementing Employee Center is an exciting journey, and I hope this session has given you the insights and tools you need to get started to take it to the next level. Remember to make use of all those resources, join the community events, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need help. Thanks again, and I wish you all the best in your Employee Center journey.